Approximately 10 shots heard and then an unknown person shouting code 3 incident 1920 RD809 semi for additional.
8852, incident 1921, all units 8820 responding closely from Santa Monica and Stoner to...
Talk to additional shows back in.
8852, Roger. Other unit with the message repeat.
81 shows back in from the station.
All units 81 back in from the station to...
Originally, units at 8028, 8028 additional, your shooting just occurred. The PR believes the shots came from across the street of the upper gate. The PR does not have visual. No further. It's additional 1921.
Wesley unit, shooting just occurred. This vehicle is a white Tesla, SC northbound on Coldwater. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle at the gate. Code 3, incident 1932, RD809.
Air 10, can you find out the make of that Tesla? I'm sorry, the model.
Urgent somebody. Maybe are you still on the line?
Number 2, passenger, for the description, the passenger was firing a gun, additional on incident 1932.
Do you know the model of the car?
Philadelphia 6, Roger. Wesley units responding, shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle is a 2023 to 2024 Tesla 4-door with paper license plate, unknown model, additional incident 1932. At 853, the suspect vehicle was last seen going southbound on Coldwater Canyon. Stand by, the peers attempting to check the camera footage for a license plate.
85 shows code 100 on Sunset and Coldwater.
85 to repeat across to Coldwater.
Sunset.
All units 85 to code 100, Sunset, Coldwater.
Beverly Hills notified. 81, was there a license plate number on the Tesla?
Maybe are you still on the line?
Stand by, the peers attempting to look at the camera footage for the license plate.
All units, additional on the shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle is last seen Coldwater Canyon, additional on incident 1921.
Zebra 2, it's going to be a Tesla Model 3, white in color. Stand by for the plate.
Wow. What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. Peace and blessings to everybody joining. We got to talk about this. Y'all know anytime I speak in regards to any type of celebrity news, there is something that we're going to learn. A lot of you all know that I spent a lot of time speaking on gang stalking, organized mobbing, targeted individuals, and I want to make something very clear. There is a serious issue that we have going on with people. A lot of people are finding it very difficult to draw the line between what's reality and what's not. And as one of the people who is considered a pillar on this particular topic, I can tell you now that there's a lot of mass psychosis that is going around, and people are mistaking what they believe to be gang stalking as actual mental problems. Now, I find it very important to speak in regards of this whole situation, because I've seen what ingesting a lot of content that's regarding gang stalking can actually change a person's mind on a negative side. And that's why when I spoke on this topic, I always tried to be very forthcoming about how it's a spiritual war and how you must overcome it spiritually. See, brothers and sisters, this recent incident that happened, a lot of people are talking across the internet. This woman fired shots at Rihanna's Beverly Hills home while Rihanna was inside, by the way. What makes the situation even more alarming is all the videos that's circulating before the incident of this young lady speaking. In those clips, this woman spoke as if Rihanna personally knew her, as if the singer was watching her entire life, targeting her and influencing in events around her life. That's a deep issue. And it's unsettling because, brothers and sisters, I went through the exact same thing. I went through the exact same thing. I spoke on gang stalking. Certain individuals gravitated towards my material and really thought that they knew me. People I never known, never met, had no idea who they were. They gravitated towards my videos on gang stalking, watched my videos, and then all of a sudden thought that I was gang stalking them in real time. And I know that it's a problem. Social media in general is doing something to the minds of the people, but we're going to cook. We're going to cook on this topic. Man, I want everybody to get the likes up. We are going to go in on this particular topic because it's real, and I want to break down what's actually happening to the minds of the people. Mass hysteria is here. Social media is really warping the frontal lobe of people's minds, and they are becoming absolutely deranged. And it's not a joke. Is Rihanna doing witchcraft? She's part of the music industry. I'm sure she may be. And we're going to talk about that as well. But we're going to also talk about how to practically combat gang stalking, right? But, we're going to get into it. I want everybody to get the likes up on your way in. We're about to really chop it up and gain some real understanding here. Let's get to it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Is Rihanna a witch? More than likely she is. You know, we see the symbology that she promotes in her music videos. We know that she has been introduced to the industry by way of Jay-Z, who is a known warlock. But let me make this clear. Rihanna did not know that woman at all. But that woman, last name Ortiz, was convinced that Rihanna was stalking her, knowing her ins and outs, her whereabouts. And this woman was full of paranoia, confusion, and she pretty much had a psychological breakdown. Now, the reason why I find it so necessary to speak on this topic is because I also personally experienced this. And I've had creators actually platform people who was making a lot of erroneous claims, people that I did not know at all, never met them, never seen them, don't know which city they live in, don't know nothing about them. And then I realized that something is extremely wrong. And people are really tweaking, y'all. They jumping off the deep end. You know, a lot of people are having psychological breakdowns and they're quietly struggling. They're quietly struggling until it's no longer quiet, until it gets loud, and they're out here crashing out. And I've had people platform individuals who was making all kind of erroneous claims, claims such as I was getting them fired from their jobs, claims like I was trafficking them, claims like God is about to judge me and kill me, and once I'm gone, they can prosper. Literally the same thing that this woman was saying. I've heard it 3 times on social media spoken about me, 3 times from 3 different people. And it's such a familiar tone that they all take. And I said, what is this? What type of spirit is on these people to believe somebody that don't know you is watching you and knows you somehow? Like, what is that? I've had people claim I got them fired from their jobs. I had people claim that I had their kids taken away from them. Crazy stuff. People, I don't know. People who literally name names of everybody they watch on social media and say that those people are all gang stalking them. And then I said to myself, something is wrong. And the way this lady was speaking, who shot Rihanna's house, she was speaking the exact same way. And we're going to go into some of the things that she was saying. But one thing I noticed over the last decade, the internet has blurred the lines between reality and perception. And that's for millions of people. You know, when people spend hours online consuming content about hidden enemies, surveillance, secret forces, controlling events, the mind will start connecting dots that don't belong connected. You understand what I'm saying? You will have people that start really connecting dots that don't exist because they're in a sense of paranoia. And let me be clear about this. I believe gang stalking is real. In fact, I've experienced gang stalking. I've experienced organized mobbing. I've been through things that as an influencer, a lot of people would not believe. Real things that you just can't explain away unless there's some targeting going on. But there's people out here who do not understand what's really happening, and they're really losing their minds. You know, the mind can be very fragile. You know, a strange coincidence, a bad day, a random event suddenly becomes proof that there's a grand conspiracy against you, and some celebrity is watching you and obsessed with you when you're the one watching them. Because that's what this woman was doing. This woman was stalking this woman. Stalking this woman so much that she believed Rihanna was stalking her. What kind of mind frame is that, brothers and sisters? Where you could be watching somebody so much you believe they know you. You believe that that person knows who you are. And they could just be a social media personality, a celebrity, an athlete. And then it spirals into curiosity. Then it slowly becomes what? Obsession. And then eventually, you know, someone will believe that a celebrity is personally orchestrating from behind the scenes, controlling their lives. People really be believing that. Now I want you to hear how this lady was talking again. I find this important because it happened to me a few times on social media where people just saying crazy stuff. People that really need mental help. And believe it or not, there was people who actually platformed these individuals when they should have been seeking help for them people. They should have had the common sense to say, you know what? You might need to get some mental help. But instead, they fed into that behavior to try to get them to crash out. So when I talk about this, I want y'all to understand, my life has been on the line. This is no game, no joke. Being on social media can be dangerous at times. And I've seen other creators put batteries in people's backs who clearly need mental help just to try to get them to crash out on me. I'm telling you, it is real. Now, gang stalking, yes, it exists. Voice to skull technology, gang stalking has been verified in the Epstein files. It's there. We know it's real. We're not even second guessing if gang stalking is real. That is not what I want. That's not what I want the underlying message to be. I want you to understand that it can be one spiritually, and we're going to talk about that. But also, you got to draw the line between people who really may be battling and struggling and people who are truly being targeted. All right. Now, I want to share with you all how this woman was talking. And I'm going to tell you now, the look that's in her eyes, I am very familiar with this look. Where it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home, y'all. Like she's there, but she ain't there. I've seen this look on certain individuals, and perhaps she may have been targeted at some point, but the program either defeated her or this is just all out demon possession. But I want you to hear this woman.
No, Rihanna, no. You're not the eagle. They will soar high on wings like eagles. Rihanna wants to say that we are flying. That we are flying and we're not. She's not flying. She had a bad day. She looks really stupid and corny. And everyone knows it. But the way that they want to, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very grateful to you for your abundant graces. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. What about my hands? What about these fingers over here? What about these 3 fingers? What about it? No, you're not here. You're rebuked. And even if you're here, there are many in this realm. And you are rebuked, and Jesus is the king, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way out and perishing. It's embarrassing.
Now, this type of rhetoric is oh so familiar. This woman is loaded with demonic spirits. Whether or not this is some type of psyop or not, we're not going to X that out. However, I have heard other people speak this way, and I've heard them make these egregious claims that once somebody else is removed from the face of the earth, they can then proceed to live their lives. Now, I'm telling you, I've seen it on people say that, look, once this person is erased and unalived, I can then be blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's psychotic. That is insane. See, this is where paranoia takes hold. When a person begins to believe that they are constantly being watched or targeted by somebody who don't even know they exist. And they start to interpret events in their lives through a lens that is just faded. Somebody said, could it be MK Ultra? Could it be voice to skull technology? All of those things are possible. However, what I want you to understand is, brothers and sisters, although some of you all watching, a lot of you all watching may have discernment and you may be able to see what's going on in the world, and some of you all may have been targeted. Y'all may be victims of gang stalking. You may have went through certain things. However, you know the program is working when it can get you talking crazy like this. You know the program is working if it can get you to go crash out and go shoot this woman's house up. I'm telling you, this is insane, y'all. You just got to hear the things this woman is saying.
You're not the eagle. They will.
Hold on, there's more.
Eagles. Rihanna wants to say that.
Hold on, I got more.
Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the fuck up.
Who is she talking to? And you know what the crazy part about this? There's people who watch people talk this way and they will actually follow them on social media. Now, Rihanna is probably a witch. This is not about defending Rihanna. And she may be doing sacrifices, rituals, I don't know. But what I'm trying to express to you is we have to draw the line between what is gang stalking and when somebody is losing their rabid ass everlasting mind, y'all. Because the way she's talking is like Rihanna is in the room with her. This is how gone she is. She looks to the side, says, shut the F up, as if Rihanna is standing in a room with her. But what I'm trying to express to you is there's some people who watch gang stalking material and they get absorbed with the program to the point where they believe that they're going through this. And that's the dark side of gang stalking material. And that's something that when I put out my material about gang stalking, all I was bringing was facts. All I was bringing was evidence. All I was bringing was truth. But I also had some solution. I also talked about building community. I also talked about, spiritually arming yourself.
Okay? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this. That's why you got Rihanna over there all jealous because how am I, because her faith is the devil. Rihanna's faith is the devil, okay? I don't like her, and she's always trying to steal from me. And she has not ever put out any music to reach people.
Listen, Rihanna do not know that this woman exists until she heard them slugs going through her home. And again, this is what happens when people get to doom scrolling all day long and obsessing over people. This is what happens when, you know, people get overstimulated with information. Listen, as a content creator, I'm going to tell you like this. I have to look at what's going on social media. And even I have to take breaks, because I want y'all to understand that the powers that be are using these portals. These are portals right here. And when you are scrolling the internet, I truly believe that this lens right here on your phone, I believe that this lens right here is reading your retina. It's looking at when your pupils get dilated. It looks at when dopamine is released and the algorithm is triggered to give you more of what you're looking for. They can MK Ultra you from your device. They can MK Ultra you from this right here. Gang stalking is for a whole nother way. This device right here knows you better than your friends, your family, colleagues, associates, some of your partners and mates. This device knows you more than them, to the point where nobody has to follow you and stalk you nowadays. Only thing the corrupt system has to do is study your patterns through this. Now, am I saying that Rihanna is innocent? No, she's a celebrity. More than likely, she's with ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky is a warlock. We see him doing rituals and blood sacrifices. I'm not saying that Rihanna is an angel. I'm not defending Rihanna. But what I am saying is people like this, I've seen this spirit on people firsthand. I've seen it firsthand on people. So much so, I decided to fall back from speaking on gang stalking because I didn't want to contribute to behavior like this, because it seemed like people couldn't tell the difference between really being targeted and being like one of these people.
She only did her little music thing so that she can do witchcraft and so that she can steal from people. So everybody, please don't listen to her. Don't follow her. Don't give that girl any air, space, or time, because she's stealing from you. Okay? She's stealing.
Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch.
And they always take the moral high ground as if God chose them to do something. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. See, I'm righteous. I must execute judgment on this person. And that's her mentality. Where people who, imagine this, people who consume gang stalking content too much then become the gang stalkers. They get flipped. That's what end up happening. They get flipped. See, what makes this even more like dangerous, right? You got to look at it like this. A public figure, we can just look at it this way. Every moment in life, certain things happen, like certain things are in secrecy. A passing car becomes now surveillance to you. A random comment online becomes like a hidden message now. A public figure becomes an enemy who's pulling the strings in your life. Now, psychologists have long knew about this, and they warned us about this kind of pattern. They have. Because what happens is people's minds get caught in a feedback loop. You know, every new event now reinforces the belief that somebody is stalking you. And now you are completely loco. Lights on, nobody home. The Dougal brothers are coming. You are gone. Now the person starts to feel like they're under attack, but there's no evidence of that. No evidence whatsoever that Rihanna knows this woman. But this woman got so possessed. She took an AR-15, brothers and sisters. She took an AR-15. One of these bad boys. Can't show my real AR, but y'all know. And really just decided to pull up and air her out. And Rihanna don't know this person. Crazy.
Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this.
That's why you got Rihanna over there all jealous. Because how
She think Rihanna is jealous of her. Rihanna don't even know she's existing.
am I, because her faith is the devil. Rihanna's faith is the devil, okay? I don't like her, and she's always trying to steal from me. And she has not ever put out any music to reach people. She only did her little music thing so that she can do witchcraft. And so that she can steal from people. So
I'm telling you, man, they sound exactly like the people who was coming after me. They sound exactly like them.
This is Rihanna's alleged attempted murderer, Ivana Lisette Ortiz. She's 35 years old, and she is convinced that Rihanna is trying to attack her spiritually. In a series of videos, she's mentioned multiple times that Rihanna and the devil would go to her in spirit to try to bring her down, and that anytime she goes into Ulta, the pictures of Rihanna on the wall will try to attack her. She even said that one time she made $3,000 in a day from trading, and the devil and Rihanna came, and they tried to take her down because of that, and they tried to take her money. And then they took her lawyer's soul after that as well. She believes that God's judgment is showing through Rihanna because she has a 5 head, and so she's like, that's God's judgment. Recently, Ivana went to Rihanna's house, and according to reports, she was holding an AR-style weapon and shot at Rihanna's home.
Hey, shout out to all the sisters with big foreheads, man. You know, hey, look, big forehead people, we winning out here. You know, we got a lot of thinking power. You know what I mean? You know, listen, the lady was crazy. The lady was crazy. She really thought Rihanna was jealous of her, and she thought she must carry out judgment on Rihanna.
While her kids were there, while ASAP Rocky was there, Rihanna was washing.
She shot through her home while her kids were there. While her kids were there. Now, regardless of what Rihanna do in her spare time, right? Regardless of what Rihanna do in her spare time, listen, right now she's being a mother. Right now she's not putting out no music. She's at home providing, taking care of the household, and taking care of her children, being a mother. And some lunatic online crashed out and shot a damn AR through her house with her kids in there. Now, listen, man, we really gotta get this right. We really gotta break down what gang stalking really is about. Let's go.
The dishes. Luckily, no one was harmed, but there are bullet holes in the gate. And Ivana is now facing a $10.2 million bail. I'm just going to show you some snippets of the videos.
You want to kill me. Shut the f***. Okay? Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay?
dollars one day on a day trade trading NVDA. And then Rihanna, she pops up in the spirit with the devil, and they're like, meh, 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 meh. And then they went and attacked my lawyer, Jennifer, and they took her spirit and her energy, and they were just right there. Like, I could see them vivid as day. And because they were jealous, because they literally don't want me to be successful.
This case.
Y'all. Now, I got to ask y'all something. When you hear somebody like this talking online, right? There's a lot of creators who speak about gang stalking and targeted individuals that talk exactly like that. The real creators like myself and others from back in the day who used to really break it down, we no longer are out there. Now, these are the people who talk about gang stalking. And when you hear them talking like this, you gotta think about who's the one really doing the witchcraft. Because last time I checked, no weapon formed against us will prosper. None of those spiritual weapons that witches would use will have any effect on us if we walk in with Christ. So who's really into sorcery and magic? In order for witchcraft to work, somebody will have to be opening a doorway. Somebody will have to be giving some type of some point of entry for that stuff to actually work and operate in their lives. I'm telling you, it's crazy how people can just get obsessed with people online, man. Somebody says, do you think Riri is Masonic? Maybe she's Lulu. Rock Nation controls the industry. Yes, I do think that Rihanna is probably Masonic. She's probably, not even probably. Look at who she's married to. ASAP Rocky is demonic. She was brought in by Jay-Z. You don't get to the level Rihanna got to unless she's doing something in regards to witchcraft. So to answer your question, yes. But Rihanna don't know who the hell this lady is. That's the point. And if she was really a watchman, like she claimed, really somebody who's with the Most High, it would not have no effect on her if Rihanna was doing something. This woman didn't even really have enough influence for Rihanna to pay her no attention. But in her deluded mind, she really believed that Rihanna knew her. That's the point. And there's something going on that I seen start to manifest in the community, the gang stalking targeted individual community, when people started talking about twin flames and how some celebrity is their twin flame, and this celebrity is watching them, and they doing all this numerology and all of this madness. And it became something very much satanic. And they turned the truth into this spiritual energy harvest that we seeing today with these maniacs, man. This is craziness.
This is very disturbing. This is Rihanna's alleged attempted murderer, Ivana Lisette Ortiz. She's 35 years old, and she is convinced that Rihanna is trying to attack her spiritually. In a series of videos, she's mentioned multiple times that Rihanna and the devil would go to her in spirit to try to bring her down, and that anytime she goes into Ulta, the pictures of Rihanna on the wall will try to attack her. She even said that one time she made $3,000 in a day from trading, and the devil and Rihanna came and they tried to take her down because of that, and they tried to take her money. And then they took her lawyer's soul after that as well. She believes that God's judgment is showing through Rihanna because she has a 5 head, and so she's like, that's God's judgment. Recently, Ivana went to Rihanna's house, and according to reports, she was holding an AR-style weapon.
Can y'all do me a favor and refrain from speaking certain people's names in my chat? This is not what this is about. So do me that solid. What I'm trying to do is really show you something that's going on in a gang stalking targeted individual community. So, please refrain from that. We don't do that over here. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. But this is insane.
Ivana Lisette Ortiz is the 35-year-old psychopath who unloaded 10 rounds into Rihanna's house over the weekend. Now, if you're not caught up to speed, Sunday afternoon, this woman took an AR-15 and fired 10 rounds at Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's house. 4 rounds hit the front gate. 4 rounds actually struck the house while Rihanna and her family were inside. She's been arrested, is now facing charges of attempted murder, and her bond was set at over $10 million. Now, anybody this violent and reckless, it obviously goes without saying that they are crazy. But when you look at this bitch's digital footprint, we are talking straight up Looney Tunes, man. First off, she obviously has been arrested multiple times, and at least one of those arrests was for domestic violence. He has a slew of social media posts referencing Rihanna as if they are actually in each other's lives. He has this Facebook post saying that Rihanna has a 5-head and AIDS and that she was trying to sneak around rather than talking to her directly. Another post here with Drake.
Everybody always hating on the cute girls with big foreheads, man. Hey, listen, those are the best. Hey, those are some of the most intelligent women out here. And us brothers with the 5 heads too. You know, we winning right now. Like, stop hating. Stop all the hatred, man. Sheesh. Let's go.
Drake with the caption saying when Drake found out that Rihanna has AIDS. So clearly this Rihanna AIDS thing is a storyline in her crazy brain. People on the internet are also speculating that maybe she is a Drake stan and that when Drake and Rihanna started to have beef, that she put Rihanna literally in the crosshairs. And the social posts are not just limited to Rihanna and Drake. She also mentions Kim Kardashian here, acting like Rihanna and Kim are looking for her. Internet is also speculating and believes that she posted this song called So Many Dead Woes, where she calls out Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Khloe, Mariah Carey, and Ariana Grande. So many dead woes, so many trash bins, so many heads dropped, so many hacks hit. And she also called out Cardi B in another video where once again she is acting like she's a real person in these celebrity lives.
You can't fuck with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now. But you know who has the cutest outfit tonight? You know who's the cutest tonight? I am.
Yo, look at the look in her eyes, y'all. It's like, where's her soul at? See, this is what happened when someone gets overly covetous. You know, this is what happens when paranoia starts to transform an individual. And then they start carrying around all this fear because they really believe these people are targeting them. And then fear turns into action. You know, this is what happens when you truly believe somebody is harming you and controlling your life. And you really want to be them that bad. Like, this is what social media is doing. This is what vanity is doing to people. This is the brainwashing of social media. And I do believe a lot of the ladies are especially preview to this because they like to compare themselves because they see all this beauty online. But look, I'm going to just say this right here. Ladies, love yourself for who you are. Love yourself. I don't know what I gotta say this message. Love yourself for who you are. You ain't gotta go augmentate yourself. You ain't gotta chop and screw yourself. Listen, be you, be your authentic self. That's what's attractive. But shorty right here is looking like a shapeshifter, no doubt.
Just straight up psychopath shit. This is straight up schizophrenic, stalker, murderer behavior where you convince yourself you're actually in these people's lives and you roll up to Rihanna's home with a fucking assault rifle and empty shots into her house. Oh, and the kicker, the icing on the cake, is that she allegedly is a speech therapist that works with kids. Thank God Rihanna, ASAP, and her kids are all safe, obviously, but lock this woman up and throw away the key. Not only because of the obvious, attempted murder is despicable, but because of this insane parasocial online internet behavior, which is so dangerous in this age.
And it's become so much more active and relevant in this time. This is something that continues to happen, man. And, you know, what may start as online speculation when psychological distress hits a person, it can escalate into real world consequences. People can lose their grip of reality, and the lines between internet belief and real world becomes very thin, dangerously thin. Dangerously thin to the point where violence comes next. Violence comes next. And it's nothing to play with. Like, gang stalking is real, but this lady is not a victim of gang stalking. This lady has lost her mind.
This is Rihanna's alleged attempted murderer, Ivana Lisette Ortiz. She's 35 years old, and she is convinced that Rihanna is trying to attack her spiritually. In a series of videos, she's mentioned multiple times that Rihanna and the devil would go to her in spirit to try.
Hold on, we watched that one. Hold on one moment.
We have an update on the woman that shot up Rihanna's house, and if you were thinking it was a targeted attack, it was. This is Ivana Lisette Ortiz. She's the woman that had an AR-15 style rifle in her car shooting up Rihanna's gate and her house. She's from Orlando, Florida, holding it down for the crazies. And she has been in jail before. Ivana Lisette for over $10 million. She is still in custody. They need to keep her in there. Keep her in there, because what is wrong with you? Obviously, you have fans, you have stalkers, you have all of that aren't all the way there in their heads. She seems like one of them, just keep her. Keep her. We have an update on the woman that shot up Rihanna's house. And
she was dipping out after the shots were fired. Y'all see that clip? But she wasn't fast enough now, was she? Now she got a $10 million bail. You know, ultimately, you know, situations like this should make society pause for a second and start reflecting about everybody's mental state today. I think it's too much isolation. I think it's too much constant online exposure, coupled with stress, a lack of stability, a lack of creativity, and a lack of prosperous environments. And it's to the point where some individuals are really struggling to separate their perception from their ideas. You know, the Rihanna incident is not just a celebrity story to me. It's like a warning sign of what can happen when somebody's paranoia gets unchecked. And as somebody who has spoke for a number of years about gang stalking, organized mobbing, and targeting individuals, I found it very necessary to cover this story. I find it very necessary because this stuff right here happens more and more. People are becoming crash out dummies, MK Ultra mind control patients, just based on them being online too much. And now, yes, not only is this woman, not only has she just thrown her life away, but she could have taken out some children. That's how dangerous it is. She could have taken out children. And the children are probably traumatized.
Update on the woman that tried to take the life of Rihanna by shooting up her crib with an AR-15. Yeah, Shawty thinks that Rihanna is after her and the devil has sent her.
You saw Rihanna? I keep telling her to stop harassing me. To stop harassing me. And she keeps doing it. She keeps harassing me.
She then says this when she sees photos of Rihanna in Ulta.
And I already bought stock in Ulta, and I have staked in Ulta. So now those energies can't harass me when I go into Ulta anymore. When I go into Ulta, the devil tries to...
Yo, I've seen people talk exactly like this, accusing me of stalking them. Talking exactly like the stuff she's saying, the lady was saying the same kind of crazy stuff. And another creator actually platformed this woman instead of getting her some help. Like, you know what? That don't sound right. How could everybody you watch on social media be stalking you in real time? Are you sure that you may not be, and I believe one of the people that actually did this was diagnosed with it was either bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. But a creator still platformed this person and put a battery in their back. And that is just completely irresponsible. And this is people that I don't know. And I just need y'all to realize how dangerous that is. And I got a couple scriptures too. I got a couple scriptures that we need to understand right now. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. Because people don't love the truth these days. They're being given over to strong delusions. And they're believing lies, even lies that they tell themselves. With no evidence, nothing to substantiate what they're saying, they get online and say these things and are actually able, you know what's crazy, because they're actually able to convince other people that this stuff is true. That's what's so scary about it. People will watch this lady's video and be like, yeah, you know, that's messed up what Rihanna's doing to you, man. Dang, that's a shame. That's how people did me. Hey, I know that Nubreed, man, that's messed up. He did that. Don't even know these people. It's dangerous. People be thinking it's a game, but when I get on, anytime you're a public figure, you're putting your life on the line. You're putting your life on the line. Ecclesiastes 9:3 says, this is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event unto all. Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their hearts while they live. They walk in the earth with evil and madness in their hearts. Evil and madness. I'm telling you, it's a real sickness, brothers and sisters.
Antagonize me or instigate against me by the pictures on that are there.
She also had videos talking like this about Cardi B. Seems like she's a serial stalker that believes that these industry women want to be her. Her bail is $10 million. Granted, I don't think she got that, but that's besides the fact. Shawty should not be allowed back outside in general. She has a long rap sheet in Florida too, which of course is us. But still, hell no. Do not let this shawty back on the streets. Parasocialism getting out of control.
Parasocialism. That is the name of it. That is the name of the game. James 1:8 says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's talking about mankind. You know, when you're talking about mental instability and confusion, that's double-mindedness. And a lot of people are dealing with that because they're not getting enough vitamin D, not getting enough sunlight, not, you know, doing what they need to do. And it's driving them crazy. Real 80 says when they get someone like that to roll up on you like you, Rihanna, then what? These people are sick. Why would you weaponize the clinically insane? That's satanic. Exactly. When you become that full of hatred for someone that you will weaponize someone who is clearly battling with psychological issues, platform that individual, knowing that you could put a battery in their back by validating their delusion, then you are truly a Satanist. You're an evil person. And you shouldn't want to win an online back and forth that bad where you would do something that perverted and evil. And things like that you have to pay for, because especially if you have a platform. If you have a platform, that's something that you are supposed to avoid at all costs, because not only does that kill your credibility, but if something was to happen, you would be on record agreeing with that person who clearly has a psychological problem, clinically insane. So when I seen how she was talking, I said, man, I got to talk about this, because I never responded to when they were putting videos out like that. I don't respond to nothing nobody's going to say about me. I just don't. I'm in my own lane. I do my own thing on social media, and I'm not concerned with anybody else. But when somebody is clearly having some issues and they get online and they talk like this, I mean, listen, I'm just going to tell it like it is. That's not a person being gang stalked. That's a person who need to be 5150'd. That's a person who needs to be taken off the streets. Proverbs 29:9 says, if a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. So, you know, I don't get caught up in irrational arguments or hysteria coming from people online, because it's no defending myself to something that's not true. How many of you all have had people make up such an egregious rumor on you, you can't even believe that they created that narrative for your life and then saw it through to the point where how do you even defend something like that? You don't. Because the Bible make it clear that you don't defend nothing like that. Right? Because why? 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So if somebody believes lies, rumors, innuendos, gossip, madness, if somebody believes that, that's on them. It ain't nothing I can do about that. Proverbs 12:15 says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearketh unto counsel is wise. See, even if you're battling with mental health, seek wise counsel. A fool will reason with themselves, but not aright. Their ways lead to death. Their ways lead to destruction. They will be right in their own eyes before they seek the counsel they need. Let me be clear. Somebody says, say it with your chest and say who you're talking about. First of all, you're wrong about the person I'm talking about. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and put you on timeout. That's the crazy part. Person in the chat talking about say it with your chest. You talking about this? No, you're wrong. I'm not even talking about that person. So you said all of that and you're not even correct. You don't even know the situation. That's what I'm talking about. Trolls in the chat some trolls in the chat don't even know who I'm talking about. You might not even have been on social media when this happened. You don't know how many years ago this happened. You don't know what you're even talking about. But it's funny, man, because it's really not funny. It's really a shame. Because I had so many people who have shown online obsession with me, people shooting out names because they don't know who it is. But yeah, we had to boo him out for a second. Got me fucked up. Yeah, this is not no gossip channel. I use these talking points to really break down what gang stalking is really about. It just so happens with this story, I have a personal tie to this story because I've seen people on the internet do this to me, the same thing that this lady is doing with Rihanna. And the person that I'm talking about did this with multiple other channels too. And these are women that I'm talking about that did it. It wasn't. Just stop saying people's names. If you don't know the situation, just leave it alone. The point is, I've been through it. Yeah, that's the exit song right there. I'm telling you.
You blazed at a celebrity's house because you feel like the celebrity wants your life? That she's the devil? Update on...
Yeah, that's what they do, man. They wilding out here in these streets. I'm telling you. I am telling you. And see, this is the dark side of gang stalking content because the lady had to be watching it. You know that this lady had to be watching gang stalking content. She had to be watching people talking about organized mobbing and believed that Rihanna was her twin flame and Rihanna was watching her and she was being stalked. Man, listen, that content is poison. It's not the same as it was when I was teaching on this. When I taught on gang stalking, we were really opening up the books. We were talking about COINTELPRO. We were going into all the records. We was bringing out V2K. We was bringing out nothing but truth. So I just want y'all to know that if you hear somebody talking like this lady for now on moving forward, if you hear anybody talking like that, that person is not teaching you on gang stalking. That person is completely psychotic, delusional, and lost a rabbit ass mind. All right. So I just want to come through and bring that to the forefront. Hopefully y'all learned something from this. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. Hopefully y'all learned something. If you have been a victim of organized mobbing, let me know in the chat by putting a 1 in the chat. If you understand what gang stalking really is, and if you understand the same people hit 1, I want you to put a 2 if you understand that this woman is not a victim. This woman is insane. This is a person who has become a gang stalker by oversaturating themselves with paranoia and online content that pushes fear and anxiety, making a person think everybody is after them. Therefore, losing her soul, thinking she's being gang stalked, but is really just losing her mind to the point where she becomes absolutely dangerous. All right, so y'all get it. That was the goal. Make sure y'all understand. Listen, gang stalking is real, but this ain't it. This ain't it. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for viewing. If y'all want to support the work, support me at HebrewCare.com and get your natural products from there. And also support NubreedGlobalTruth.com and also support the Cashapp, y'all. You know, Cashapp is Nubreed Global Truth, just like it's written on the page. And y'all stay blessed out there, stay safe out there, and hope y'all learn something. Y'all be blessed. Peace.